Hello, special children, what is up? Welcome back to Everything is A-OK. For today's video, we're going over my top 10 favorite female-led TV shows. I'm like really excited for today's video. It's like I'm not even gonna hold it up. Okay? Okay. So just like last week's episode, I said episode, didn't I? We're gonna ignore that. So just like last week's video, that's correct. Just like last week's video, we're gonna be doing from 10 to 1, and 1 being my most favorite TV show at the moment. Ignore the background noise as usual. So it was like a Miss Mojo thing. The mistake I made last week was that I didn't plan out what I was gonna say. I just thought I could talk about it and keep it short, but I didn't. This week, I'm trying to stay under 18 minutes. I'm trying. At number 10, we have Ant Farm. That's on Disney Channel, or was on Disney Channel anyways. With China and McClain, and it's a show that's, near and dear to my heart. Now, I have reasons why, okay? So if I look down occasionally, it's just because I'm looking at notes. Don't worry. Anyways, main reasons: person of color as the main character. That is very important. Representation is very important. She was a singer-songwriter, and she was 11 years old. Well, the character was 11 years old when she first started the TV show. And I can't remember how old I was, but it was new to see, honestly. Especially because all the other things like Cheetah Girls, which is also people of color and singer-songwriters, but I was too young by then. But when this came out, I was at least 8 or 9. So I really this show like really resonated with me, especially because when I was younger, I wanted to be a singer/songwriter. So there was that whole thing. And then as I thought about it, the concept of ant farm. So the ant part, A-N-T, yeah, that's how you spell ant. Not somebody's aunt. Aunt. I hate when people say aunt instead of aunt. It's aunt. Anyways, getting off track. ANT stands for Advanced Natural Talent. So a group of middle schoolers with advanced natural talent had the opportunity to participate in the ANT program at a high school. I can't remember the name of the high school. I'm pretty sure it starts with a W because that was like on their school mascot. But yeah, so technically it's a middle school show, but it takes place in high school. I don't know, but I think it was on, I can't remember if it was 4 seasons or 3 seasons. I haven't watched it in a while, which is again why it's on it's number 10. Because I'm also doing these based on like how often I'll rewatch it. So yeah. Next is Wizards of Waverly Place, which was also on Disney Channel. Selena Gomez kills it. So one of my favorite things about it, other than the magic, which is a very important aspect because they're wizards, is the family dynamic. It's also an interracial family, which is very cool. And you didn't see that often, especially on Disney Channel. And I like that the actors' chemistry, even though they might not have looked alike, you could tell that they're family, even from the first episode. I really do like that the familial bond is one of the most important aspects of the TV show. I like that each episode is a different thing. Like, you don't necessarily have to have seen one episode to, you can like miss an episode and just join in at any time because I think the characters are pretty consistent and also the storylines are consistent. For number 8, we have SelfMade. Octavia Spencer is back. And, it's a period drama. And if you watched my last video, you'll know that I love myself a good period drama. So this one is actually based on a real person. the story was based on a real person named Madam C.J. Walker, and I believe she was the first self-made female millionaire, and it was due to her natural hair products that she created. And like during when this took place, that was absolutely unheard of. I think it ended on a good note. It is a limited series, so there's only one season, but I think it was better that way. But again, it was a great job, and I love a good period drama. The costumes were definitely a little iffy, but the hair was on point. The hair was beautiful. Once Upon a Time. Now, I'm gonna get a little excited about this one. A warning though, only the first three seasons were the best. I'm not gonna lie. I think there's 7. After a while, it's just like, you shouldn't have done that. Why did you do that? But the concept for it is, what did I put here? I said, basically the entire premise is every writer's fantasy, because it's absolutely mind-blowing. So I'm gonna try to explain it very, very shortly. But basically, the story follows Snow White and Prince Charming's daughter. The evil queen cursed her entire kingdom, or the entire kingdom or entire world, to our world, to like a modern 21st century setting, so she could get her happily ever after, the evil queen. So she erased everyone's memories, and she basically trapped them in this town. Now, this is basically, for those who know, is a hint to what my #1 TV show is. The kingdom is made of a bunch of fairy tale characters. So they did like Hansel and Gretel, they did Cinderella and Little Mermaid, and they incorporated all these fairy tales into the show, and it was brilliant, at least for the 3rd season. And then of course there was like Rumpelstiltskin and Beauty and the Beast and Cruella de Vil and Ariel. I think I said Ariel already. Well, not Ariel, Little Mermaid. And like there was Jiminy Cricket. And the way they put twists on certain ones, especially my favorite is, the story of Red Riding Hood, but it turns out that Red Riding Hood was the wolf that was eating people. That was my favorite. So basically they like turned these regular story characters into villains, and I don't know, but as a writer, it just makes me feel nice. Like, I just love how they incorporated it. Okay, so at number 6 we have One Day at a Time, and when I first discovered it on Netflix, I just immediately loved it so much. The story centers around a Latino family with a single mother and her mother and her 2 children, a boy and a girl. And the way they handle certain issues such as racism or sexism, but they put it with comedy and intelligent jokes, is one of my favorite things. And also the main character, Penelope, the single mother, she's also a war vet, and that also plays into the story. And I think that was such a smart move, like from a writer's perspective, to add that in there. And then there's also how she deals with that and the unfair treatment of veterans. I don't know, they just did a great job of incorporating all these issues, but relaying them in a smart and intelligent yet comical way. Number 5, we have The Great, which is another period drama. Yes! Elle Fanning plays the main character. What's her name? Catherine the Great, which again is based on a real person. So basically, Catherine the Great wants to overthrow her husband, who is a terrible ruler and an absolute jerk. So I support her in all her endeavors. 4, how convenient. So I'm actually listening to music, don't worry. But for number 4, I have Girl Meets World, and that's the song that just came on. Haha. Okay. Why is it so high up on the list, you may ask? Because it's, again, ignore the background noise, one of my absolute favorite Disney shows. Well, it's a spin-off of another show that I like called Boy Meets World, and the life lessons that they do in this particular show are so heavy, and then they let them be heavy. Of course, there's also the comical side of it because it's for younger viewers and everybody likes a little comedy, but they let it be heavy. So they deal with poverty, and they also deal with, well, okay, I'm be honest, all the main characters are white, so it's not necessarily a lot of diversity in this, but they do deal with, again, like racism and sexism. And one of my favorite episodes is when they even deal with religion, and they talk about, is God real to you, or how do you perceive God, or like all those things. And honestly, none of the acting in the show is cringy. Like all the kids and all the grown-ups, it's like they've been trained actors for years, and some of them have, but I never not believe them. Now, do I agree with all their decisions? No. And do I think some storylines were off? Yes. Especially the love triangle. I hate it so much. But I never once doubted the actors for that. It was always like a writing problem more than anything else. Next is I'm not okay with this. I will be bitter about its cancellation for the rest of my life. I talked about it in my favorite snack/favorite TV shows video. That will be in the description, of course. And they canceled it due to COVID. I don't know. Do you know how many shows are being filmed right now in COVID? Just tell me that you don't want to continue a great show. It is based off of a book. And one of my favorite reasons why I like that show is because superpowers. The main character has superpowers, and the way she deals with them is humorous. The ending of the show, I gotta say, is pretty mind-blowing. Number 2, we have M with an E. This show was also canceled by Netflix, and it's based on a series of books by, who's that one? I can't remember. L.M. Montgomery. It's based on a series of books by L.M. Montgomery, and they came out a while ago. It's also a show, again, that focuses mainly on the storylines and not trying to get to the end. It's always focusing on the now part of the story. And what else do I have in here? The beautiful sets. The show takes place in Canada, and the background and the sets are just absolutely beautiful. It's one of my favorites of any TV show ever. And the costumes are always on point. In the last episode of the last season, there's this one dress that she wears, and I want it so. It's a like royal blue dress, and it's so good. Also, the way they built the romance into the TV show, it was a slow burn, and by that I mean it took forever. And I really like that they took time with it, and that the main focus was on the main character and her struggles as an orphan, as then an adopted child, and then fitting into her new home and her new school and going to church and all these things. And I really like that. It's still like my favorite show, like one of my most favorite shows ever. And are you guys ready for number 1? I think like you guys should guess. I mean, you have no idea. It could be anything, but I think you should guess. All right, I can't hold it back anymore. At number 1, we have WandaVision. It's a limited series. It's not getting a season 2, and I'm kind of hurt by that. no, not kind of hurt, definitely hurt by that, but it was mwah, it was beautiful. Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen did such a great job of balancing the comedy and the drama and also the sci-fi world that they're technically in, because of course there's superpowers, but it also goes through the decades, like from, I think it starts in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, early 2000s, then the present. And they do different spins on different TV shows, which I love. The costumes were on point, of course, and the storyline, it really eases you in, and then once you're in, you're stuck. And at the end of every episode is this stupid "please stand by" end credit, and it makes And I like that they started doing TV shows, which I also think, because in a TV show, you have more time to explore character dynamics and character arcs than you do in a movie. So the show dealt heavily with grief and depression and how to cope with those things and how to move on. The way Wanda coped with them was not right, because I'm not gonna spoil it because this is a new show. You guys can still catch up and watch it. But yeah, they dealt, that was the main theme of the show, learning how to move on after losing a loved one. And Wanda dealt with so much mess. It was insane. But I like that was basically the main focus. I think the main focus of these TV shows for the MCU, since we're so used to like big blockbuster special effects with the superpowers and all those things, and of course that's included, but this focus more on the humanity. It's the epitome of perfection, and I will be watching it with my children one day. That's like the highest honor a movie or TV show can get. Like, we'll be watching it. I might name my kid after a character. That's how serious, or how much I loved this series. It was so good, so good. That is the end of today's video, special children. I hope you enjoyed it. Of course, in the comments, let me know what your favorite female-led TV shows are. I hope you guys had a great time going over these different shows with me. Let me know if you agree or disagree with my list. No, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. You can't disagree. This is a great list, and it has great shows on there, but let me know if I excluded some TV shows that I shouldn't have, you know? And make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, all that good stuff. And I hope that everything is a-okay. I haven't winked in a while. I hope that everything is a-okay.